Pope Francis is reaching out to gay priests.
Se una persona è gay,
Speaking in Italian, the Pope told reporters, if someone is gay and he searches for the Lord and has goodwill, who am I to judge? During the flight home from Brazil, the Pope said homosexual acts are a sin, but gay people should be part of society. It's a much different tone than the one set by his predecessor.
Don't let those close to the Catholic Church hierarchy fool you. Recent comments made by Pope Francis with regard to homosexuals were indeed earth-shattering, and they are not sitting well with everyone. For that matter, there are some followers, perhaps more than we might think, who are not beyond telling the Holy Father he perhaps needs to keep his ideas to himself, because in the end, he's not helping. Welcome to MidPoint. Coordinator of the Voice of the Family, a national group counting mostly pro-life and conservative groups as members, Maria Mardise joins us today. Maria, thank you so much for being here.
Hello, good afternoon to you.
Maria, does the Pope not speak in place of God here on earth? So is he perhaps not saying exactly what God wants to impart to his followers?
Well, we certainly have to follow him as the vicar of Christ. However, all suggestions that the church teaching is going to change radically or that Pope Francis is reforming the doctrine of the church are simply not true, because even the Pope is subject to consistent magisterium and the Gospels. He cannot create the truth.
All right, he cannot create the truth, but again, let me just get to the question again. Does he not speak for God?
There is papal infallibility is something that follows from ex cathedra teaching, and that of course explains why popes are quite careful to issue ex cathedra teachings. Now, all comments issued by the Pope are not infallible, but the education and formation of Catholics and faithful today are not always acknowledging that.
So it is possible then that, at least as far as you and others are concerned, that the Pope actually is speaking on his own and is not imparting a message from God.
In his comments, in his private discussions, of course, he's
well, but he didn't make this private. This was rather public.
Who am I to judge? He's probably one of the most used and misused and abused comments throughout his entire pontificate. And while it's true that people shouldn't be charged, the actions, according to the teaching of Catholic Church, are need to be charged.
Are you unhappy with what the Pope said? Quite frankly, do you think the Pope should have kept his opinions to himself?
I think that comments like this, interpreted widely in the world media, can start off living its own life and can do a lot of disservice to the faithful.
Are we looking at the beginning of something then of a civil war in the Catholic Church, if you will? Because quite frankly, there are some Catholics who believe that the Pope may need to reform the Church. Others believe this is absolutely the wrong thing. It sounds like there's a little bit of an angry discourse growing.
We were present at the Synod in Rome, which just concluded 2 weeks ago. It was a long meeting of bishops across the world, and there certainly were those who engineered the manipulation of the Synod and using clearly the Pope's silence in a way that made a lot of faithful uneasy and questioning whether anything that is really being discussed at the Synod had anything to do with their real families, or was it really just a civil war, as you say? Can we
say then, I've only got a few seconds left, from your perspective, then that a voice of the family, that homosexuals, in your opinion, then have no place in the Catholic Church?
Catholic Church draws a clear distinction between a person and an act, and while person needs to be always accepted, the sinful actions of person cannot.
So that's a no.
And it's precisely because we love the person we need to oppose the action that is harmful to him.
So that is a no then. Homosexuals, in your opinion, the opinion of your group, do not belong in the Catholic Church.
the practice of homosexuality can have no appreciation from the Catholic hierarchy.
Okay, Maria, I know this is something that we're going to talk about a whole lot more. We appreciate your comments. We will have you back on again to talk about it. We thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
All right, Maria Mardise. Break and back from the hard facts now. The ground in Manhattan about the Ebola crisis. It's not over yet. It's coming up right here on MidPoint.